Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a beautiful review to do for a product that I really feel like all pro makeup artists really need to get. If you don't get this, you should definitely look into this brand. It's very worthwhile. If you want to take your eyeshadow game or your home makeup game to another level, then Viseart, okay, let me say if I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. I say Viseart, but I believe it's called Viseart, and it's a brand that's actually in California. This is the Grande Pro Volume 1 Viseart palette. This palette is a game changer. It's amazing, and you guys really have to look into it. I hope it's still available when I'm airing this video because it's a beautiful, beautiful palette. So what I just showed you was the packaging. This is the packaging here. It's gorgeous, and it has that really beautiful velvety feel to it. And the palette itself is this one here, and unfortunately I've already started to mess it up. Let me get it clean, hold on. Unfortunately, my palette's already feeling the love and getting a little nicked, but it's so stunning that it's completely worth it. It is on the more pricey side, but if you really want to change your whole eyeshadow game, then this palette is the one for you. So this is the opening side here, and it has the nice little logo, and it says the Grande Pro Volume 1. So it opens like so. You open this part up, it flips up, and then I'm just going to angle the mirror so you guys don't get blinded. This is the palette. Look at those colors. They're so gorgeous. This ain't no Morphe palette, girls. This is stunning. Absolutely stunning. So there's a little leaf in there, which I will remove. Look at how gorgeous those colors are. They are absolutely stunning. Now these are all mattes, and the colors are actually placed in a very smart way because they're in a range. So you can see that they go from the darkest color, and then they have complementing colors in the same row, as you can see. So in the next one, they have a little bit more of a yellowy olivey tone. And then these ones are more of the cranberry burgundy tones with a little bit more pinkish range. And then you have the cool purpley tones. And then even further, you have the cooler blue tones, which are up here. So basically, they can cover everyone. You don't even need, I would say more than this, you wouldn't need another palette if you have this specifically for your matte tones, which as an artist, I tend to use mattes most, and then I'll add shimmer where needed, if needed. But I don't even want to put my finger in it to show you the colors, but I've already used a few of the colors, as you can see over here, but I've tried to do it as minimally as possible so that I could show it to you before I really, show this palette some love. But the beautiful thing about this palette too is that the back of it can flip right up and attach with a magnet like that. I think I'm doing it correctly. And then it stands up for you. So you have your palette sitting ready open, and you don't even have to worry about, oh, I gotta open it again, or that it's gonna fall or anything like that. So you can stand it up like so, where there. You can stand it up like this, and then it would sit on the table perfectly where you're working, and you have access to all the colors, and you don't even have to think about it. Or you can flatten it down if you need to. You can flatten it like that, and that works as well. And this little leaf here protects all the colors when it's closed, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, I'm going to show you a few of the swatches. So I'm sure you guys are eyeing those super bright colors, so I'm going to show you those first. But the color payoff for these is absolutely gorgeous. Like, the color that you see is the color that you're going to get. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. I can't even, like, I'm looking at it in my monitor and the color looks the same. There's no change. So I'm going to put that here on my arm. Let me just get my arm in shot here. So there. But my gosh, that's beautiful. And I'm going to get another color for you. So let's try that intense purple tone. And there is, I just rubbed my finger over that like 3 times, and there's no powder fallout on the actual palette, and there's none on my finger. Like I don't have a bunch of powder stuck to my finger right now. So here's the swatch again. Look at that. That's stunning. Okay, and then we'll do this intense blue color, because you know those are the fun ones. And again, oh my god, look at that. Do you see that? That's amazing. It's so pretty. It is so pretty. And again, I don't have, there's not a lot of powder sitting in the actual pot. And on my finger, same. Oh, just wow. The colors, I think I'm completely a fan. I'm not even kidding. I have a couple of the other Viseart palettes, which I'm going to show you today. And I'm just like, look at my wrist. That's amazing. These colors are phenomenal. Just, oh, okay. I'll calm down. I'm going to get my fingers all clean. Now I'm going to show you some of the lighter tones, because people tend to feel like, you know, you didn't even do those. But I'll show you up here, this one. It's a nice, solid, cream white color. It's perfect for the brow bone on lighter skin tones. Just amazing. There's no chalkiness. There's nothing. It's beautiful. So those are those colors there. And then I'll show you some of the more neutral colors. So here's that kind of bricky orange tone. It's a rusty orange. Oh, just wow. Wow. That's all I gotta say. It's just wow. I will link the website for you below so that you can see if you can get your hands on this palette, because it's so worth it. Yeah, it's so worth it. It is a little bit on the pricier side, but I'm telling you guys, as a makeup artist, if you're a professional, and especially if you work in editorial or if you work in film, these colors stay true. So when you're working from one scene to another scene, the consistency that you get from these colors is amazing. You don't have to worry at all about, you know, having a little bit of a clumpiness in the eyeshadow or anything, because they just apply like beautifully. There's no fallout. It blends like a dream. So you really have to look into these. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. They are all handmade in Paris. They are hand pressed. Each one is individually done. The company, Anastasia, started this company. I believe there's also another member, which I can put a little bit more of the history in the description box for you. But she created this line for makeup artists, and it's absolutely worth the wait for this palette. I'll show you a couple of other palettes. These ones are very well loved. So I apologize if they don't look so hot when I show them on camera. But this one is the Viseart Professional Preview palette, and this is the matte eyeshadow palette in the Cool Mattes range. And this as well, the same thing. They are all handmade. They're just gorgeous to work with. These colors, they're beautiful on everyone I've ever used them on. And again, like you would think, you know, if you're showing like the blue from the Grande Pro palette, this blue over here is still quite different in tone than that blue. This blue has a bit more of a midnight blue. This one's more of a navy blue. So that's gorgeous. Then the pink, this one here is the pink tone, which is a really nice bridal tone. And it's very pretty. It has like a bit of mauve in it, or mauve. And I also use these for brow powders as well. So if you see like this cool tone, it's very usable for brows. Also for light blonde people, I would use this color very easily for the brow. They're just amazing. And these are all mattes as well. There are shimmers, but in my experience, I found that Viseart's strength is their matte tones. They are absolutely gorgeous, and I have not found one company yet that has matched them in quality in terms of what they can do with their matte tones. Shimmer tones I'm not the hugest fan of. I find that there is a little bit more of a patchiness to them on occasion, but the mattes are beautiful, so they're definitely worthwhile. This is a palette that I've created. So I actually depotted a lot of my own eyeshadows and stuff out of their pots, and I depotted the entire Viseart palette in the neutral mattes, which is one of their most popular. It's actually one of their, it's packaged exactly the same as the cool mattes that I showed you. So you can see they're very similar. Oh, let me see. There we go. They're very similar. I've just kind of packed them closely together. But the packaging is exactly the same as this one. And these ones too. This palette right here, if I lost my entire eyeshadow palettes, all of them, which would be hugely devastating, but if I lost all of them and I only had this palette, I could knock it out of the park every single time with this palette, because it is stunning. It really doesn't, like, it looks pretty simple and boring, but I find when you are an artist for quite a long time, you realize that you don't need to have, honestly, that many shadows to really do everything you have to accomplish. So with this palette, I have some, so this is the Viseart here, and these are from Yaby Cosmetics, and these are all my brow powders. I also have like the Bobbi Brown right there. That one is the Bobbi Brown Smoke, which I've used for my own brows before. I have the larger version for myself. But these colors all together, you know, it may not look all that pretty, honestly, and that's a little embarrassing, but this palette is my life. Like, I can do anything with this palette. Oh, and if you like my case here, I actually got this off of Etsy, and if I can find it again, I will link it below in the description box. These are beautiful palettes that are handmade. Mine's actually quite old and well loved, so it doesn't look quite as pretty, but you can get some really pretty handmade palettes, and I think it's called something Soul. So I will look into that and link that for you if you would like to get some. They're all magnetized, so all of your pots can fit, and you can really customize them to your liking. But yeah, this palette is absolutely amazing. You really have to invest in this one. So that one's the bricky tone, which is one of my favorite colors. Then I have the darker brick. The darker brick tone is right there. It's the perfect transition color for the eye, which I absolutely love. And then again, you can use, like, the black is very intense too, very nice black color. And then we have the nice gray tone as well, which is right there. So you can do beautiful colors, beautiful transitions with all of these palettes. Highly, highly recommend. My quick rave and review of the Viseart palette, and this one, like I told you, is the Grande Pro Volume 1. I hope you enjoyed that. Do look into this brand. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It is one of the best eyeshadow palettes I've ever owned, and as devastating as it will be because this palette is so beautiful, I'm definitely going to make this my number one go-to palette for sure. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.